All right, today we're going to work on adding and subtracting fractions, and we're going to do it every day until it gets into your head on how to do it. Please act like you have some sense and pay attention and don't mouth off. Let's take 1/3 and add 1/2. 1/3 plus 1/2. All right, let me ask you a question. Tamara,
Yes.
is 1/3 greater than or less than 1/2?
Greater. Wait, no, less than.
Less than. Why do you say that?
Because I know that if the denominator in fractions, if the denominator is smaller, the denominator is smaller.
Okay. So there's more pieces here than there are here.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, so Tamara, can we add these fractions like they're currently written?
No.
Why not?
Because the denominator.
The denominators are not the same. Very good. I'm going to take my denominators and I'm going to start listing the multiples of each denominator until I find one they have in common.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Okay? What about 3?
2, 6, 9.
3.
What? 3, 6, 9. 2,
You have anything in common?
9. I mean 6.
6. This is the least common denominator equals 6. That's how you find that. Least common denominator equals 6.
And so none of the denominator is not 6, so you can't lose the fraction the way it is, so you got to put the ones in there.
Good. I got to change these so they both have a denominator of 6.
And then you need to put the 1, and then you need to put 3 times 3. 3. That's 3. The first one's 3.
No, the first one's not 3.
Yeah. It's 2. Wait. Oh, it's 2.
Good.
The
2 over 2. 2 over 2 equals 1. If you have the same numerator as denominator, that means that fraction equals 1. You okay?
Uno.
You look upset.
I'm not.
Okay, good.
Tired.
Good. I am too. All right, so that'll help us get our numerator right there. Tamara, we multiply straight across, and what's my numerator?
2.
2.
Dos.
In my second
And that was
addend,
3.
okay, this one's 3 over 3. And what is my numerator?
3.
3. Addition or subtraction?
Addition.
Can we do this in class?
So it's 5, 6, and that's
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
5, 6.
5, 6. I just picked random things in class.
Oh, you do?
Now I need to see if this fraction can be simplified. I do that by trying to find the
See, I
Greatest
don't know. I don't know how to say
common factor. Then watch. We're going to do the greatest common factor. So we take our numerator, which is 5. We take our denominator, which is 6. And we're going to list the factor pairs for each one.
1, 5, 1, 6.
Good. We're going to start with 1 times 5 for 5. What else for 5? She's thinking.
Oh, I don't think there's any more.
You're right. There aren't any more because
There aren't any
5,
more.
5 is a prime number. All right, so let's look at 6.
1, 6.
1 times 6. What else?
There's no more.
3
Are you
times
sure?
2. 3
Oh yeah, 3 times 2.
3 times 2. All right. So now looking at this, Tamara, what is the greatest common factor? Let's first tell me what they have in common.
Well, you need to give me the normal one, Jamie.
Look here and tell me what they have in common, these two.
1 and 1.
They both have a 1. What else?
6.
That's it?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay, good. That means the greatest common factor is 1. If the greatest common factor is 1, that means this fraction is already in simplest form. So I could say 1/3 plus 1/2 equals 5/6. Okay,
all
so.
my problems, all my problems on the thing, I didn't.
Well, now you're learning. Or relearning.
Wait.
Jamie.
Can we also do the writing questions after?
Yeah, we're not going to do that today, though.
People don't know how to do this.
We'll
What
work.
would be the answer? How to do a model?
What?
Then why'd you do all that?
Because I needed to see if I could simplify 5/6. I had to list all my factor pairs of 5, all my factor pairs of 6.
He wanted
And
to
the-
make sure he was right.
Yes. And the only thing they have in common is 1. So if all they have in common is 1, they're already in lowest terms.
Oh.
Okay?
You can erase it.
Thank you for giving me permission.
Wait, what was the answer again?
5/6. All right, so let's look at 5/8. Subtract 2
Can I do
fifths.
this one?
5/8. Subtract 2 fifths.
No, me, I just have a question.
What is your question?
5/8 on subtracting would be still times it or whatever.
You still have to find a common denominator and change the fraction so they have a common denominator.
Would you still
The only thing that's different is when like,
times it? What's that called again?
Multiply it?
Yeah, would you still multiply it?
Yeah, you're still going to multiply to get your common denominator. So Simone, let's look at 5/8. Let's look at our first add end. 5/8, is it greater than or less than 1/2?
greater than,
Greater than. What about 2 fifths, our other add end?
less than.
Less than. Good. Can we add them the way they're currently written?
No,
Why not?
because the denominator.
Because the denominators are not the same. Okay? If I were to take my multiplication chart and take one denominator and the other denominator, and I just kept listing the multiples, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. What's the first one they're going to have in common?
10, no.
40.
40. 40 is going to be the first one they have in common. The good thing about this is you can always use a multiplication chart. If you were taking a test that didn't give you a multiplication chart,
Make one.
make one. Make one. It's the first thing I'd do on a test.
Can we do this one next? This one next?
Yeah, I'll do another one next.
Okay,
This
but
one here.
Okay, well, we'll see. Just wait a minute. I'm not done with this one.
what if it was a time? What if there's a timed one? Would we still make one?
Yeah, I would. All right, so now they don't have 40. Neither one of them have 40 as a common denominator. So, Simone, we need to multiply each one of these by a fraction that equals 1. So without changing the value. Simone, let me ask you, how do you know if a fraction equals 1?
The denominator and the numerator will be the same.
The denominator and numerator would be the same. That's how you know it equals 1. So we have 5/8. We want to change it to something over 40. So, Simone, how do I do that?
You multiply 8 and something.
Okay, so 8 times what? It's going to give me a denominator of 40. 5. And since it has to equal 1, it needs to be 5 over 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, Simone, 2 fifths. What am I going to multiply that by?
8.
8 eighths. Very good. And so what's my numerator going to be?
16.
16.
Will that
Simone.
be my answer?
Simone, is this addition or subtraction?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. Okay, Simone, 25 40ths, subtract 16 40ths.
8.
Maria Diaz, please call the front office. Maria Diaz, please call the front office.
Maria's going to call the front office if you're watching. So 25 minus 16 is 9? Is that right? Somebody help me. 25 minus 16, is it 9? What is it? 9. Good, thank you. I felt like I was talking to myself.
Jody, change your number.
I don't think so.
They 17874.
I don't have it memorized.
Want to go see her today?
I didn't. No, I don't think he was here today.
Well, she was supposed to take a half day, but I thought she was here half the day.
Yeah, I didn't. My kids tried to go to her during Flex and they came back. So
Rock. Okay.
looks like him. I'll see if he needs a ride later. All right, so we need to check, and this is the part where Tamara, you said you have trouble with. We're going to see if we can simplify 9 40ths, which means I need to find the greatest common factor for 9 and 40. Okay, so I'm going to list all my factors of 9. So Simone, help me with my factors of 9.
9 and 1.
Okay, 1 times 9.
That's it.
That's it.
No, 3 times 3.
3 times 3. Okay, what about 40? I know 1 and 40.
1 times 40.
Okay, it ends in a 0, so 2 times something will equal 40.
2 times 10.
Nope.
No, 2 times 20.
Good, 2 times 20. Let's see, 3 won't go into it because the sum of the digits,
4.
4 plus 0 is 4, and that won't work. 4 will go into
4
it.
times 10.
4
5
times
times
10.
8.
5 times 8.
Oh, sorry, I'm going too fast.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, so Simone, tell me all the ones they have in common.
1.
1.
Thank you, Simone. Anything else?
No.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay. If the greatest common factor is 1, that fraction's already in simplest form. You cannot make it
So where's your name, babe?
written in any simpler form.
Wait. What's the answer?
The one I circled, 9/40. If you're watching at home, when we put the problem up, stop.
Can you do this one?
Do it. I will. Just a minute. Stop. Do the problem. Turn it back on.
The problem is...
Wait a minute till I erase this. As soon as my friend Addie is ready.
Addie.
Okay.
You can sit in your seat and tell me the problem.
Okay.
All right. What's your problem?
9/20.
Wait, can
3/18.
Plus?
Yeah, plus 3/18.
can I make mine a problem?
No, she's giving me a problem that she wants done.
Yeah. 'cause
Otherwise, I have problems to do.
From this.
I got a lot of problems. All right. So, Caitlin, you can help me here.
Oh man, this
Are the denominators the same? No, they're not. Let me ask you another question. The addend 9/20. Is it less than or greater than a half? It's
No,
less than.
Less.
Because 10/20 would be a half. What about the addend 3/18? Less than or greater than a half? Less than a half. Good. Because 9/18 would be a half.
I don't want to make you kick a chair.
Okay, good. I don't want to kick a chair. All right, so now we need to find the least common denominator.
Do it today.
Once you kick a chair.
We need to find the least common denominator for 20 and 18.
20. Oh,
So if we counted this out,
So 20/40.
20, 40,
60. 80. I think that's 100. Okay, I don't know what I did here because I couldn't find it.
now I don't know my multiples of 18, but I know 18 is going to land on 180 because I know 18 times 10 is 180.
To me.
And I can ask myself this question. If I multiply 18 times 2, what number is in the ones place? Hey, what is 18 times 2? Or what is 8 times 2? Sorry.
16.
16. So there'll be a 6 in the ones place. What's 8 times 3? What's going to be in the ones place? So a 4 in the ones place. What's 8 times 4?
30 something.
30 something. So there's going to be a something in the ones place. That doesn't help me out.
Oh,
30.
2.
32. So there's going to be a 2 in the ones place. 8 times 5. 0. So it's going to give me a 0 in the ones place. Okay, so let's check 18 times 5 and see if that works here.
Yes, that's 40.
5 is 40. 4,
That's 9.
7, 8, 9. Okay? Is 90 appear here? No.
no.
Okay, it's going to go up to 180. I know that, so I'm not going to keep going on it. So we know my least common denominator is going to be 180.
Whoa, that's a lot. That's a high number.
My least common denominator is going to be 180. Caitlin, do either of these fractions have a denominator of 180? Not yet. We're going to fix that, but right now they don't have a denominator of 180. Okay? Which means we need to multiply each one of these by a fraction that equals 1 so that we don't change the value. Just like 60 minutes is an hour, 2,000 pounds is a ton, or it's a show, yes, or it's a show. We don't want to change the value, we're changing how it's written. So now, just a minute. Caitlin, 20 times what is going to give us 180?
20 times. Oh,
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
8. Is that right? No, we forgot 160. It's going to be 9. Sorry, 160, then 180. My bad. So it's going to be 9. So you're going to multiply by 9 over 9. Is that what you're going to tell me?
No, I was gonna.
No.
You made me wait too long.
Okay. Now, Caitlin, I need to change from 18 to 180. What am I going to multiply by here?
A sneeze.
I forgot. I don't know anymore.
18 times 10.
Oh,
Anytime I'm multiplying a number by 10, I'm just moving the decimal point one place to the right. Yeah, the number 18 has a decimal point right there. If it's not written, it's always at the back. And since I multiply by 10, that means I move my decimal point one place to the right, which means I have to make it 180.
I have some more problems over here.
Okay? Well, shh. We're not even done with this one and you're rushing me.
Oh, I thought we were.
I'm not listening to you.
No. All right. So what is my numerator here, Caitlin?
Oh, 81.
81
And the next one's 30.
is 30. Okay? Was this an addition problem or subtraction? What was addition? Okay? All right, so Caitlin, 81 80ths plus 30 180ths.
11. 11. No, 11. 11.
111 over 180. 111 over 180. Now we've done some divisibility rules.
Wait, can we simplify?
And I know this can be simplified
Yeah.
just because of my divisibility rules. Are they both even?
Yes. No.
No. So they can't be simplified by 2. What's our rule for 3? Does anybody remember?
You have to add them together. And
Good. If the sum of the digits is a multiple of 3, that number is divisible by 3. So what's 1 plus 1 plus 1?
3.
Is 3 a multiple of 3?
Yeah.
Yes. What's 1 plus 8 plus 0?
9.
9. Is 9 a multiple of 3?
Yes.
Yes. That means these can both be divided by 3.
Oh, 3.
By 3. Now I don't know 111 divided by 3 in my head, so I got to do the math.
Go.
Jamie. Oh wait, no.
3, 9, subtract 2, bring down the 1. So that looks like it's 37.
37 over 180.
So now we got to simplify 180 by dividing it by 3.
One addition problem.
Divided by 3 would be 60.
I'll check.
37 over 60. Jamie, this is what we think our answer is. Let me ask you a question real quick. Is 37 prime or composite? Prime, good. So what's the only thing that multiplies together to equal 37?
I remember.
1 times 37, good. So I know 1 goes into 60. Does 37 go into 60?
No.
Not evenly. Good. Not evenly. So that's in lowest terms, 37 60ths. Tamara.
Hey, I was gonna say, I remember my question. Those things, I know they're gonna be taken down by January 10th, but can you turn them in whenever you want? Or do they have to be turned in by January 10th?
They got to be turned in by the end of the semester, which
Okay,
is
here's another one.
January 13th, I think.
What was the problem? What was the? There's a reason why.
37 60ths.
Thank you.
All right, give me another one.
Wait a second.
Shh, stop tapping. Kaylin?
I have to find what the answer is.
Mess with my eraser.
Sorry, I have to find it.
I'm not saying anything.
Wait, so the end of the year is
Okay,
No.
got it. Okay,
The end of the
so
semester.
another one is
Semester.
Go ahead.
14 15th. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, 14 15ths
11 30th.
plus 11 30ths.
Yeah.
All right, Caitlin, let me ask you a couple questions before we get doing this. Is 14 15ths less than, greater than, or equal to a half?
That's it.
If you ate 14 out of 15 pieces of pizza, did you eat more than a half?
Yeah, more than half.
More than a half. So this is greater than a half. What about 11 30ths?
That's good.
That's less.
Oh, less.
15/30ths would be greater, or would be equal 1/2. And this is less than 15/30ths. All right, so now I'm going to call an Addie for this one.
Okay.
Or Addison. You're two Addisons, so you guys decide who wants to answer each question.
She can answer. What?
All right. Addie or Addison, do these two fractions have the same denominator?
No.
No. Which means I need to find my least common denominator.
This is 30.
Awesome. Which means I take my two denominators of 15 and 30, and I list the multiples until I find one in common. 15 times 2 is 30.
Okay, you're done.
So my common denominator is going to be 30. One of my Addisons, is either one of these fractions have a denominator of 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, which one?
The 11/30.
Good. This add end here,
Yeah.
11/30ths. Does this one have a denominator of 30?
Yeah.
No.
What?
So I need to,
Times it by 2.
Oh,
I
which
need to
one?
multiply
Why did I say that?
by what?
2.
By 2 over 2. That's a fraction that equals 1. 2 over 2.
14 plus
14 times 2 is?
Sherry Coda, please dial extension 4310. Sherry Coda, please dial extension 4310.
Good. 28.
Oh. Okay.
And addition or subtraction, Addisons?
addition.
Addition. We know my denominator stays the same. 28 plus 11.
Oh.
38.
39. Good.
Okay.
39.
Proper fraction. Thank you.
That is an improper fraction. So Addison,
Oh.
is this fraction 39/30ths less than or greater than 1? It is greater than 1.
Only fit into it once.
Okay? So to change it,
Yeah, you have one whole, and the remainder is 9, and the denominator is 30.
good. So I divide 30 into 39. Goes in one time. I subtract. I get 9. So I have one remainder 9, which equals 1 and 9/30ths. But wait,
We're
that's
done,
not my final answer.
because you can shorten it.
I can simplify it by dividing them both by 3. Thank you,
Yeah,
Addie.
you're welcome.
If I divide these both by 3, my whole number stays the same. 9 divided by 3 equals... Hello?
Wait, what?
9 divided by 3 equals...
Oh,
3.
sorry. Distracted.
30 divided by 3 is...
10.
10. Thank you. So, Addie, if you want to write that down before I erase it,
Okay.
the answer is 1 3/10. Check how you did at home. If you messed up, figure out where you messed up.
You can
Figure out why you messed up.
Are you ready?
you
I
can go
fixed
back
it.
and watch the whole entire video.
You can go back and watch the whole entire video.
Okay, there's
Just
one
wait a
more.
minute. Wait a minute.
There's one more.
Addie, do you have it all written down?
Sure.
All right, sure. Sure is a very definitive answer.
310.
1 3/10.
So you were
All right, what's your next one, Caitlin?
13/25.
And all of a sudden,
Shh, ladies. 13/25
Yeah.
plus
Plus 11/28.
11/20. All right, so let's go. Ethan,
Yes?
do these two fractions have the same denominator?
No.
No. Okay, they do not have the same denominator. So I need to find the common denominator.
I know what it is.
What is it?
It's 20.
No, 20 is not my common denominator. Jamie? 100 is my common denominator. Because if I think of quarters, 25, 50, 75, 100. If I count by twos, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, 40, 60, 81. So you're correct. 100 is my common denominator. Ethan, are either one of these already over 100?
No.
No. So Ethan, that means I have to multiply both of them by a fraction that equals 1 so that I can make these, without changing the value, write them so they have a denominator of 100. So what would I multiply? 25 times what gives me 100?
Last time I made... No, not...
Think of quarters.
4?
Yes. Because 4 quarters is going to give you 100 cents or $1. Okay, 4 quarters is going to give you 100 cents or $1. So what's, ooh, this is where we've got to think now, isn't it? What is 13 times 4? Anybody got that? Half the time. 52. Good. This is 52 over 100. Ethan, what do I got to multiply by 20 to get 100? 5. So what's my numerator?
55.
55. Ethan, is this addition or subtraction?
This is addition.
This is addition. So I know my denominator is going to stay 100. Ethan, 52 plus 55 is?
Is 107? Or
Yes,
yeah,
107. 107. Ethan, is 170 or 107 100ths less than or greater than 1?
It is greater.
Greater than 1. It's an improper fraction. It's an improper fraction. So it means I need to
Just
change it to a mixed number by dividing 100 into 107. Now this is how I'm always going to do it. The quotient, the remainder, and the denominator.
So
It's
it's
going to go in one time.
remainder 7.
So 1 remainder 7. What's my quotient?
1.
1.
1,
What's my numerator?
7.
What's my denominator?
100.
100. The denominator stays the same. Now can I simplify that, Ethan?
no.
No, I cannot. The only things that divide into 7, or the only factors of 7 are 1 and 7, and 7 is not a factor of 100. So my final answer is 1 and 7 100ths.
1.
Do you have to leave at 3:45?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't even paying attention.
I know you weren't.
And 7 what? No, you.
1 and 7 100ths.
Wait, but is that 100 too big for it?
No. You can have a denominator as big as you want. I can have 9,000 digits in my
Can I
denominator.
do 1?
Sure, I am going to let my friend Addie do the next one.
I want to do it!
I know you do, but you've already done one.
But that's okay. Can I be your friend and do one after her?
Let's do
Hey, where's my backpack? I know it's somewhere here. Actually, we're building it. I don't want to.
23 25ths minus, shh, minus 27 50ths.
Thank you for telling me what my backpack was. You do it?
23 25ths minus 23 or 27 50ths. Addie, do these have the same denominator?
No.
No. This one's 25, this one's 50. All right, I've got 25s and 50s. I think of any quarters. So, if you have 1 quarter, you have how much? 25 cents. 2 quarters? 50. This is like 2 quarters here. So 50 is going to be my common denominator.
Okay.
Remember, if you're working this at home, stop, collaborate, and listen. Do the problem, and then start it back again. All right, so
Tough and roll.
I got to multiply by a fraction that equals 1. 25 times what equals 50?
25 times,
How many quarters did we use to get to 50?
2.
2.
This is what I'm mistaken.
And this is already over 50, so I can just leave it the same. Stop doing that on purpose.
What?
Silly goose. All right, so now we need to know, Addie, I need to know what 23 times 2 is.
Mr. McMahon, can I turn this in?
If you're done, please, yes.
Ouch, oh my god. 46.
46.
And then
This is a subtraction problem, Addie.
yes.
So 46 50ths subtract 27 50ths.
Is,
Actually, I think my parents might want me to take this home so
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh, choke him.
46 times,
Oh, this is sorry.
46 minus 27. I'm giving you a minute.
46 times,
Subtract 27.
do you want me to leave? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's time for you to go too.
46
Back to minute.
subtract
See you, sucker.
27 equals 19.
19. 19 50ths.
Yeah.
Now we need to see if we can simplify that.
You can.
You can?
I think.
Well, can you or you think? Well, let's look. I know my factors of 19 are 1 and 19. Does 19 go into 50 evenly? No. Okay. 19 is prime. It has no other factors between 1 and itself. 1 and 19. And 19 won't show up as a factor of 50, which tells me that this is already in lowest terms. I hope you at home got this done correctly. Or in class, if you're watching this in class. Say like somebody from Charlotte, North Carolina finds this video online and they're like, let's show this, even though this guy's a doofus. And then they show it and your teacher will stop it and make you do it. You know, that's how teachers are, jerks. Joseph.
Oh, no. You can't. No.
Hashtag Woodland Springs.
Can I get on the camera?
No.
Dang it.
You got a question, Joseph?
Can I get on the camera? No.
You wanted what?
Can I help you?
Don't shake the desk.
Oh, no.
Can
Can I
I-
just walk by?
Today?
You can only erase
The
the top.
Is that the
Okay,
top?
with the bottom. That's all I wrote down.
Leave the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness, do you see what I deal with?
Yeah.
No, you can do it.
Let's do,
Stop.
go ahead. 11 twelfths plus 7 eighths.
20. 7.
We're going to do 11 twelfths plus 7 eighths. If you're working at home, go ahead and stop this. Do the work. By the time you're coming
Wait.
back, I'll have this all erased, but because Addie will
Maybe.
caught up. No, hopefully.
Wait. What's the bottom? 20.
27 50ths equals 19 50ths.
27.
Can you give us time to?
Goodbye.
Well, I'm sitting here. Why aren't you doing it?
Wait, is it 11, 12, 7, 8?
Yes, 11 12
Okay.
plus 7
I'm
eighths.
sorry, I couldn't understand what all those other numbers around.
I know.
Numbers
Yes.
around. Numbers around.
Numbers.
I'm done.
All right, so work
No,
it
I'm
real
not
quick.
done yet.
I haven't done anything yet. I was erasing the last problem.
Hey.
Relax.
Hey.
And luckily you got a multiplication table, so it'll be very easy to find
Yes.
the least common
This
denominator.
one you all have to wait on me.
I won't?
I need a marker.
Okay.
But when you first write it down, so then when you start.
That's a fine idea.
11.
What you do?
7.
All right, stop there and do the 8 now.
What?
I was talking to Tamara.
Oh.
Okay.
Now you can erase it.
Hmm?
Now you can erase it.
Oh,
No, that's
okay.
the part
She's
we're
done.
doing.
Oh.
Hey, Joseph. 11 twelfths plus 7 eighths. Let's look at that one.
Okay.
Joseph, is 11 twelfths less than, greater than, or
I'm
equal?
not done.
Okay, I'm talking to Joseph. Be quiet. Joseph, is 11 twelfths less than, greater than, or equal to 1?
Greater than?
It's less than 1
Or less?
because it doesn't have a whole number and it's a proper fraction. What about, is it less than, greater than, or equal to 1/2? What would be?
Well, it's greater than.
It's greater than, because 6 twelfths would be 1/2. All right, Joseph, 7 eighths. Less than, greater than, or equal to 1/2?
Less than. 1/2. Oh, greater than.
Greater than. It's greater than 1/2. So now I have greater than 1/2 plus greater than 1/2. So my answer is going to be greater than 1. Okay? Greater than 1/2 plus greater than 1/2 is going to be my answer of greater than 1. Tamara, you're over there finding the least common denominator, right? Did you find it?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's 24.
It's 24. Very good. So I'm going to change these so that they're both over 24. I don't want to change the value.
Is this an adding problem?
Yes, it's adding. I don't want to change the value. I just need to change the way it's written. Kind of like 8 ounces equals a cup.
Jamie, what's 22 plus 21?
So Joseph,
iPad.
what do I multiply by here to give me a denominator of 24? 12 times what equals 24?
To divide, so you have to divide 12 to 24, which you'll get 2.
2.
And then
So I have to multiply this by 2 over 2, which gives me what as a numerator? 11 times 2 is
22.
22.
You have to summon it.
Okay. This one, 8 times what is 24?
4.
Nope.
Okay, here's where I got stuck.
Okay.
I need to summarize, what it was called.
3.
3. So I put
What's it
3.
called?
Simplify.
Simplify.
We're not there yet. We'll get there.
And then,
We'll get there.
No, wait.
and then we get to 21.
And we get 21. And 22 24ths and 21 24ths adds up
43.
to what?
43.
Thank you, Joseph.
Oh, yeah, you're very welcome.
Your voice is changing.
It's hitting puberty, don't worry about it.
All right. So to change, we're going to have our quotient, our remainder, and our denominator. To change this to a mixed number, because this is greater than 1, it's an improper fraction, greater than 1. So we go to 24
Now we're going to summarize. I need help.
into 43. Simplify, not summarize. Okay, so Joseph, how many times is 24 going to 43? Later.
Who's that?
1 time.
1 time. It's 24, we subtract. We have to borrow, that's 13. That's 3. That's 9. So 19. 1 remainder 19. 1 remainder 19. Which equals 1, because 1's my quotient. 19, because 19's my remainder. And 24, because 24 is my denominator.
Okay, I got 1, 19, 24.
Guys, I got them.
Drop down and give me 20.
And that is in simplest
Drop
form.
down and give me 20.
That is in simplest form. So hopefully those of you watching at home or in Charlotte, North Carolina, got this right. Come back later. I tutor and I post the videos.
Can people
Sometimes I
in the Philippines
tutor in
watch
class.
this? Come all the way here.
People in the Olympics?
No, the Philippines.
Yeah, people in the Philippines can watch it.